I got two questions for you. Have you ever wondered whether Pixar animation and stop motion could meet at some point? And have you already started questioning if we are going to get new Sparkshorts from the studio? Well, Pixar self answers both questions, but there are also some Cars news, so keep watching. Welcome to the 14th edition of the Pixar Update, which is also the first for 2024, but definitely not the last. We'll be reviewing the newest Sparkshort self, but I'd like to start off with some unconventional news. Pixar is going to cut around 20% of its staff. Since investments in Disney Plus originals are reduced, several projects, including Win or Lose, finally have wrapped production and they are now overstaffed. While I understand the reasons for the layoffs, it's always horrible to imagine people lose their jobs, especially during these hard times when basically major parts of the film industry struggle with streaming profitability, box office bombs, and higher costs, so that finding a new job becomes kind of a struggle on top of being fired. However, there's also some good news before we go on with Self. In fact, it's some details on the future of Cars. So what I gonna talk about dates back to an interview with Jay Ward, Pixar's creative director and head of the Cars franchise, by the Late Break show in late November, so actually not quite new. Anyways, Ward openly announces that Cars on the Road was not the last installment in the franchise, responding to the question about more Cars stuff. It's a good question. There are more Cars things brewing. I can't quite say what yet, but Cars has got a life that will keep going. I'm working on some really fun projects right now that you will see in the next couple of years. It takes us a while to make things. The purpose of this video is not to do an entire speculation, we may save this for another one. However, the statement confirms there is not just one project in the works. If Cars on the Road Season 2 was among this, we'd probably get a confirmation soon, as I don't see Pixar work more than 2 years on a short film series, so that would be due in 2025. Even though we talked about Disney Plus related layoffs, I'm quite confident that quite some stuff is aimed at hitting the service, also because On the Road itself isn't a Disney Plus original any longer, with all episodes being available on YouTube now and the show having had its TV premiere in November, at least for the German-speaking region. So car stuff may generally fuel more channels than just Disney Plus. As of now, I don't think that Cars 4 is in the works, I'd rather rely on short films and shows. There we go for the newest Pixar short, Self. If you don't know, the Sparkshorts project was created to discover new talents at Pixar that form the future base of the studio. People are given around 6 months for doing a short film, and one benefit is that the stories are often more mature than in average Pixar media. I myself have liked all Sparkshorts so far, and if you're interested, I recommend you watching some older Pixar updates that review 2 of them released in 2021. Self is about a wooden doll that is trying to fit in the mold when she is seemingly not accepted by the others around her. Thus, she wishes on a star to replace one body part after another until she looks exactly like all the others. The director, Searit Huluf, explained, "Self is short for self-sabotage. I wanted to tell a story about someone who's self-sabotaging themselves to belong because that's something I personally have dealt with throughout my life." I like the metaphorical language here, as the short shows how the doll replaces her legs to much thinner ones to be as slim as the others, how her new body becomes golden instead of dark brown, and this also proves she tries to get rid of her immigrant background. The director states, "I wanted to tell a story about an immigrant experience of coming to an urban city and the struggles of belonging, and also directly, indirectly being forced to conform." Self, now fully golden, is finally recognized by the others, but when she approaches them and steps on her old face, she realizes she betrayed herself, with all body parts lying on the floor. When she puts on her broken face again, the others accept her just the way she is. There's no dialogue, yet the short communicates quite well. Self feels uncertain in her new environment, being overlooked damages her self-esteem even more, so consequently she starts hiding who she is. However, storytelling feels partly unapproachable to me. Self openly tries to belong but is invisible for others. Likewise, when she accidentally stumbles into somebody and falls on the floor, everyone is just astonished and nobody even thinks about helping her. Honestly, I can't imagine a crowd of several dozens of people to look away when someone stumbles, be it an immigrant or not. In the end, the perspective is clearer again though. When the others see Self as being exactly like them, they finally start really seeing her, and only when she puts on her original face, they realize their own misbehavior. At this point, the others' cold towards Self becomes more understandable, as the metaphor might be more generally speaking about an immigrant's experience in finding a job, making new friends outside the few people they might know, etc. You may wonder why I talked about stop motion at the beginning, so I want to come back to this point. In fact, Self is a hybrid stop motion short. Self is, at least before her body changes, not animated, and I do have to admit this combination of stop motion and animation doesn't just look quite good, it works very well. This adds a new layer to what we know from Pixar, and I like it. All in all, you can thus say the short is well done, its visual appeal is huge, and the music adds well to the core. Thanks for watching. I hope new Pixar news will flood in soon. Bye.